Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to the wilds of Suffolk. I'm out here in a birch forest today. I haven't been to this forest, so I thought I'd mix it up and change the scenery a little bit for you all today. Welcome along to the journey, welcome along to the walk today. So pleased to have you all along, whether you're a returning guest or whether it's your first time here. Welcome. It's been an interesting journey thus far. Every day it gets crazier, and I'm constantly trying to figure out what I should best speak about on any given day, because there are thousands of topics that come up. And today I have settled on a subject, which is why I brought you to this different forest, the birch forest near my house. Because I'm going to talk about being a contrarian. So, being a contrarian is someone who thinks differently than everybody else, or who questions the information that's being presented to them as being the ultimate truth. Contrarian, generally goes against the common viewpoint and says, well, hold on a minute, I don't know whether I believe in that. Now, I don't know whether you feel that you're a contrarian. I've been a contrarian, I would think, my entire life. It has some positive aspects. It also has some very negative aspects, especially during times like these divisive times, when I've lost friends and relationships have been damaged through my contrarian viewpoints. But, I hold on to this. For when I was young, I didn't really understand why I would go against the popular opinion, why I would always be the guy that went, people would be talking about a band or a song or a movie or, something. And I just wouldn't, I wouldn't do it purely because everybody else had done it. I wouldn't take part. And I've never watched Game of Thrones. That should tell you everything you need to know. Not one episode. I'm sure it's a good show, and I'm sure a lot of the things that people are interested in nowadays are good, but, being a contrarian, it's just, for some reason, it's just, I don't go along with the flow of the herd, not trying to say that everyone who watches Game of Thrones is part of a herd and they're all sheep, but, I don't generally do things that are the popular things at the time. I might watch Game of Thrones in another 5 years, who knows? But generally, I am a contrarian for most things. When I was young, I didn't question. I just always was like that. But it's questioning these kind of things. These kind of questions are the kind of questions that get thrown out at a party, an after party at someone's house where everyone's had a bit too much of the old, and they're all sort of getting philosophical and thinking about their life and what we're here for, and these questions get bandied about. It's like, where does popular culture come from? Where does popular culture come from? Does it come from we the people? Do we create the pop culture, or is the pop culture created and then implemented in our society? Is our society being driven by an unseen hand? Because, I'm sure I'm not the only one. But, if you've scrolled through Facebook or anywhere where they have these Wish adverts, some of the adverts I've seen for things on Wish, it's fucking shocking. I'm astounded, with the things that are there. Are they driving the culture, or are we driving that? Now, I've been told that the things that show up on this Wish adverts are things that I've looked for online. I can guarantee you that I've never looked up female bodysuits with a butt plug attached to it. I've never looked for it that I'm aware of. I have had some black spots in my life, or I maybe drank a bit too much once, but no, don't think I ever searched for that online. So how is it, are we being manipulated with what we think, what we buy, through an unseen hand? Now, what is that unseen hand, or who is that unseen hand? Well, the AI algorithms that are around nowadays, there's lots of shortfalls with the AI algorithms, but they can accurately predict, like Amazon, for instance. Amazon, the things that you order from Amazon, they can sort of work out who you are and what you'd like, and pitch you things in advertisements based on your history, listening to you every second through your phone, your conversations. All this information is being gathered throughout the internet, what you search for, your search history, all this information that's being gathered can be, interpreted, and a picture be formed about you and each of us. All of us have a digital signature, if you like, that describes us. And, if they understand us, these AI algorithms understand us through our thoughts, our actions, our speech, what we search for, what we look at, then, can we be manipulated through those devices, through the things that we see on a daily basis? And the answer, of course, is yes. Now, a few years ago, I made a decision about my life that I was going to try and stop thinking I was in control. For those who think that you're in control, I don't want to burst your bubble, but you're not. We're not in control. We go through our life, and events and things happen, and there's nothing you can do to control them. You can be driving down the street doing everything right, and a truck can come out from a side street and take you out. There's nothing you can do about it. So I decided a few years ago to let go of the reins and trust that opportunities would be offered to me. I would just say yes to opportunities from whatever source, because I thought, well, I'll make way for these opportunities to come to me if I just say yes. So I opened myself up to these. I let go of the reins, which is contrarian, because we all like to believe we're in control. We have a life plan. I know where I'm going to be in the next 5 years, and so I let go of the reins, and the circumstances and the circumstances that led me to where I went and where I am, just materialized out of nowhere. Maybe those circumstances were always there, but I wasn't receptive to them before. And it leads to a lot of other questions. I mean, how much do we influence, and how much are we being influenced? What's our place here? What do we gain by being a contrarian? Now, as I've said before, there's pluses and minuses to being a contrarian. There's pluses and minuses to everything, of course. But if you really look at it in history, well, the history that we've been told anyway, if you look at history and look at the people who were contrarians, that went against the popular viewpoint, that went against this is the truth, this is the only truth, this is the one way, it's the only way. The people who did that, who were the contrarians throughout history, were the people who changed the world. Like I said, it's not easy going against the grain. It's not easy being the odd one out. It's not easy being the person that's saying to everyone, no, you're all fucking wrong, because it comes back to you. Sometimes it's a long, lonely road. Like that, almost like I planned it. It can be a long, lonely road being the odd person out. It can be it's a long, lonely road being out, literally, on your own. It's not easy. It's not easy being that person. It's not easy thinking outside the box, or asking questions, the questions that nobody else wants to ask. But I started making these videos because obviously we all want to seek out people who have a similar viewpoint. We also want to test our viewpoints against opposing viewpoints, because if we don't ever do that, how can we grow in knowledge, and how can we gain intelligence if we're not going to question what we think that we know? You know, we question everything. So, you know, I started this whole process to try and, you know, put the word out there, obviously, because there are a lot of people being shut down off these platforms. You know, they're being deplatformed for having an alternate viewpoint. So I've thrown my hat in the ring, because I don't want people to be deplatformed, even people I disagree with. You know, people I disagree with, they need a platform to be able to speak. We need to have those conversations. So I started this to link up with people, to share my viewpoints, and maybe people will feed back and they have a similar viewpoint, which is awesome. You know, we can share that, and we can grow the community where it's not just an echo chamber. We are sharing ideas and discussing those ideas, you know, with people that completely disagree with us, because we might not be able to change their mind, they might not be able to change our minds, but at least we can find an understanding of each other and go, well, actually, you know what, I don't agree with your viewpoint, but I understand how you would think that way. You know, and that's, to get to that place is an amazing place anyway. Obviously, you know, we could go further if people had the problem is that with the popular viewpoint, is it manipulated by unseen hands? You know, and like I don't, you know, not to sound conspiratorial, even though I am a self-confessed conspiracy theorist, I question everything. But you know, there's so much being run in our world, if you want to call it that. The rivers are flowing today, I tell you, it's wonderful down here. Beautiful, beautiful place I live. Sorry, sidetracked there. But you know, we are being manipulated through our computers, the things we watch, the things that are being put in our face all the time. Now, the reason I started telling that story about when I made a decision about how I was going to live my life and let go was because, you know, this whole thinking we're in control, when things that happen, you know, take us out of our place of understanding, you know, so the events might happen that go contrary, that run completely contrary to your belief system, and that can completely take the wind out of your sails. When you think you are heading in one direction, you end up going somewhere completely different. So I'm trying to put it in as many different ways as I possibly can, that you're not alone is the shortest way I can put it. You're not alone if you think that there's, you know, that you are, because of the way that you think that is contrary to everybody else, that you're the only one. You're not. And that goes across the board. It goes across the board with everything. We are all so attached, but at the same time we're also separated. So it's hard for us to communicate with each other, you know, the things that are taboo to talk about, or that are, you know, especially in today's political discussion topics, you know, subjects that you can't talk about. So you know, how do we get around this? You know, this is what this is all about. Starting conversations, and you know, understanding your place in the world. You are equally as important as everybody here. Whether you're a politician where you sweep the streets or empty bins or clean toilets, or a chef or a doctor, everyone is equally important. We're all playing our part. Now, on the days where you're going to feel down, and you will, everyone has them, doesn't matter how happy you are. You know, I'm happy, I'm upbeat, but I feel down sometimes too. You know, I get upset just like everybody else does. But, you know, I have to bring myself back to, you know, understanding that I'm important in this game. As are you, we all are. And we have to recognise our importance and our what we contribute. You know, it impacts others around us. So, you know, I'm opening the conversation. You know, contrarian viewpoints, it's wonderful. We have to have them. If we all thought the same, if we all looked the same, if we all sounded the same, it'd be boring. You know, this is what we're here for. We're here to play the game. And this is a game. It's a giant, the most complex virtual reality game that's ever been created. And we're in it. You know, if we don't start to recognize that we're, you know, our uniqueness and our what binds us all is not our belief systems, because they can swing and change, and you know, we can, that's irrelevant, but how at the end of the day we treat each other. And that's not an easy thing to do. You know, we all get upset and spit the dummy out, you know, and spew it onto everyone around us. But we have to, as contrarians, be ready to take the flak and be ready to have our up days and our down days, and be there for everyone else. Because if our contrarian viewpoints are found to be the truth, if you like, or the, you know, if the conspiracy theories are not conspiracy theories anymore, the people that are believing the popular fiction at the time will be turning to people like you and me and asking what to do if it all goes in a way that no one expects it to. We are the thinkers, we are the doers, we are the, you know, we all are. I don't care who you are, I don't care what your job is. Your job doesn't define who you are. You get to decide who you are. So this video is for you, the contrarians, the people who think the crazy thoughts, the artists, the crazies, the you know, the fringe, all of us. This is for you, this is for me, this is for all of us. Don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid of the scorn and ridicule, because what I've noticed in my life is the people that are most respected are not the people who go out and seek respect. They're the people who go out and do whatever the fuck they want. And while people might not agree with their lifestyle or, you know, the way that they live, they still respect them for making their choices of being true to who they are, you know. And I think at the end of the day, that's all we can do, is we try and understand who we are and be that, and, you know, try and make a positive difference in the world. And if you can do that by being a contrarian, then that's what we should do, and be there for other people too, because there's a lot of people out there now who are asking a lot of questions, and we can be there and be a sympathetic shoulder, because coming through that process of understanding the things that we've believed to be true are not so much. That's a hard process, that waking up process. So go out there, be good, do good, and try and deliver the message to the world that thinking different than everyone else isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can actually be a good thing. It can make your life much more rich, and it can help you meet some really, really cool and interesting people, because people who think outside the box are the people who change the world. Remember that. All right, have a wonderful day. I'm going to delve deeper into the forest and we'll find out where I come out the other side. All right, have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care. Love you. Bye.